Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
Hey you guys, it's Naimahrae and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay litty over here. You feel me? And if you're a returning viewer, hey, how y'all doing on this lovely day? As you guys can tell by the title of this video, your girl is going to be telling you guys about the story time where I got in an argument with my friend's mother. Yeah, but before I get into the video, I do want to say I have gained kind of like a good amount of subscribers since my last Q&A. Well, my only Q&A that's on my channel, which I will link up there if you guys haven't seen. And I want to do another one just so you guys could get to know me a little bit better, you know, because I know I don't really open up on my channel much, but I feel like a Q&A is the perfect opportunity. So if you have any questions that you just want to ask me, feel free to leave them in the comments or send them to me on my Instagram, and I will put it all in a video and I will answer them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So let's go ahead and get into this video, because I know y'all like, Naimah, you did what with your friends? Who? And for what? And why? Like what? So I'm about to explain it. So let's get into it. Okay, so pretty much this was like a while ago. I was in high school. I was with my cousin, my uncle, and my friends, and it was New Year's Eve, and we made a plan to go downtown for New Year's Eve. I was really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, it's my first time going downtown. Like I thought I was gonna be lit. I'm thinking it was gonna be fun, like watch Peace Drop, blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, I have a story time about what happened that night. If y'all want to know that one, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let me know, because it did not go how I wanted it to go at all. Okay, not at all. But anyways, I'm sitting here, I'm like, we about to have fun tonight. Ooh, 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 ooh. So my friend hit me up, and we're gonna call this friend Emily. She hits me up, she's like, hey girl, like what you doing for New Year's Eve? And I'm like, girl, I'm going downtown with my uncle and blah, 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 right? And she's like, oh my gosh, like I want to come. And I was like, okay, cool. Like just ask your parents, like, you know, if they say yeah, like we'll come by and get you and we'll be on our merry way. So I asked her, she asked her parents. I was like, so did you ask, like, what they say? She's like, they said yes, I could come. Okay, y'all, please remember this part of the story. They said yes, she could come. They said she could come. They said she could go downtown for New Year's Eve. Okay, they said that. That's what they said. That's what they said. Emily lives probably about like 10-15 minutes away from me, right? But it was kind of like not, she didn't really live in the direction that we needed to go to head downtown to go like to New Year's. So it was kind of like out of our way to pick her up, but it was fine. Wasn't no big deal, you know? I mean, I just don't like going out of my way to picking up people if I don't need to pick you up, you know what I'm saying? But that we gonna get there. We gonna get there. So we get to her house and I'm texting her, I'm in her driveway. I'm like, hey girl, we're outside. 5 minutes go by, she don't reply. Hey girl, we're outside. No reply. So I'm like, oh, well, let me just call her, because like she, like at this point we're wasting time and everybody in the car is like looking at me like, Naimah, this your friend, like she wasting our time pretty much. And I'm like, hold on, let me call her. I'll call her. No answer. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just get out the car. I'm gonna go ring the doorbell because I feel weird just sitting here in the car and everybody's looking at me like, so what's good with your friend? And I was just like, so I get out the car, go ring the doorbell. I stand there for like probably like a solid like, I don't know, it felt like 10 minutes to me. Maybe it was 5. I don't know, but I stood there waiting for a minute. Like I rang the doorbell like twice and nobody came to the door. And finally she comes to the door and she's like, she looks all like shy and timid. And to clarify, Emily was not shy and timid, okay? She was not shy and timid. I mean, she wasn't the most outgoing person in the world, but she was probably about like me, you know? And like, we were kind of close. So I was just like, girl, why are you acting like you scared of me or something? And she's like, I can't go. And I was like, what do you mean you can't go? And she was like, I can't go. And I was just like, so like, I started getting like a little aggravated, because back in the day, I used to get real aggravated real quick. You know what I'm saying? I used to, I'm not mad. It was just a little aggravation, you know? And you know when you get aggravated, you know, tone changes in your voice or whatever. So I'm like, what do you mean you can't go? Because this is news to me. You literally just texted me and said, yeah, my parents said, yeah, I could go. So what do you mean you can't go? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, like, what do you mean? I'm like, girl, what do you mean you can't go? And she's like, I can't go. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at her and I'm like, bro, you do realize that we drove all the way over here to come get you when we really could have just went straight downtown. Like, this is kind of out of the way. Like, we went out of our way to come get you. And like, now you're telling me no? Like, you weren't answering your phone? Like, what's good with you pretty much? And so I'm saying all of this to her at the door, and I guess her mom was like, okay, so say this is her, right? I'm her standing here. The door is like right here, so like, I'm gonna use my iPad. So the door is like right here, like she's standing like right here, the door right here, and then her mom is like somewhere over here, like off to the side of the door. So she's like, she didn't even get the chance to answer me or say anything. And her mom is like, well, Naimah, she's coming to church with us tonight. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, I just wish she would have told me beforehand, because like when I texted her and asked her, she said that you guys said she could come with us. And her mom, like, I don't know if her mom thought that I was trying to like come for Emily. I don't know if that's what she thought. I don't know what her mom thought. I don't know what Emily's mama thought was going on. But I will let you know, y'all, that Emily's mom kind of seemed a little hostile. She's like, Naimah, she come to church. Okay, go praise the Lord. That's fine. That's fine. All I'm saying is that you should have said something before we drove all the way over here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's just me being Naimah or if anybody else would be a little aggravated about that. But I mean, literally, like, you said you could come. We went out of our way to come get you, and now you talking about you can't go, and you're not even giving me an explanation. Now your mom is jumping in on the conversation. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine, but she said she could go. Like, I mean, monotone voice, really calm. Her mom starts, like, getting, like, I don't want to say hostile, but she, like, starts yelling at me. Like, she's like, well, she just can't go, and I don't see why that's a problem, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, I mean, it's not a problem. It's just the fact that we drove all the way over here to come pick up your daughter who said that she could go, but now she can't go somewhere. Like, that's pretty much all I'm trying to say. Like, I don't see what the big issue is. Like, you know, pretty much I'm just, like, not really, like, yelling back at her, but she's, like, yelling at me. And she's like, well, I don't like your tone and how you're talking to me right now. Blah, 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 blah. And this and that, da, da, da. And I was just like, huh? What? Girl. And I'm looking at Emily. I swear to you, I look at Emily like, bro, get your mom, pretty much. Like, why is she coming for me? Why is she yelling at me? What did I do to her? What did I do to you? And like, Emily's just standing there, just looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Like, pretty much like she's literally just watching this unfold. Doesn't say anything. And I'm like, girl, I understand that's your mom and like she can actually discipline you and stuff. But like she's legit like yelling at me for absolutely no reason. For something that's high-key your fault because you're the one who said you could go. And to this day, right, to this very moment, I'm starting to think that maybe she didn't even ask her parents for real and like she waited to the last minute and that's probably why her mom was so upset, or she just spun the whole thing onto me. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say Emily was that type of person because I don't think she was that type of person. But I don't know. We don't talk anymore. Like, I mean, we just kind of grew apart, but I don't really know. But I don't feel like she was the type of person to sit here and like pin something on me. But I feel like she just didn't tell her parents like the whole truth about why I was there and where she was going. And I feel like maybe that's why her mom was so hostile. But her mom was just like, Naimah, I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. And if your mom was here, like she wouldn't say any of this, blah, 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 blah. Because pretty much I had told her mom, I was like, well, I pretty much just told her the truth. I was like, I feel like we just wasted gas coming over here, and like there's no point in us coming over here when we just could have went straight downtown. Like, it's a waste of gas. Like, time's is hard right now, and you're wasting my time, pretty much. And her mom was like, well, I don't think your mother would say that, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes, my mother would say that. Like, what do you mean? Like, how you gonna tell me what my mama would say? I done grown up with her for about like, how old was I when this happened? Probably like 15, 16. I done grown up with her for like 15, 16 years. You'd have met her for like a smooth, what, 1 year, and now you over here, oh, your mother wouldn't say that. Like, ma'am, please pipe down several notches. So she's sitting here, and she yelling at me, and she going back and forth. Like, I start going back and forth with her because, first of all, what you're not about to do is you're not about to sit here and yell at me. And then, like, when she brought my mom into it, I was very, like, upset about it because at the time my mom was in the hospital. I had a lot going on, y'all. I had a lot going on. But my mom was in the hospital, hence why my uncle was taking us downtown. And she's over here like, well, your mother wouldn't appreciate you talking to me like this and blah, 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 blah. And that kind of flipped a little switch because I'm like, bro, don't bring my mom into this because I know my mom. And I know she would say the same exact thing that I'm saying. Would she say it to your face? Probably not, because my mom is not that type of person. I'm just telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth because what would have happened if my mom was in that car? She would have, when I got in the car, you want to know what she would have said? She would be like, dang, we drove all the way over here for what? Like, that was a waste of time. Because it was. So me and her, we going back and forth, and it was like she was trying to discipline me like she was my mom, and I was just like, I wasn't having it. I was not having it, because look, y'all, I just don't feel like, I don't know why I'm clapping. Anyways, I don't feel like you should discipline other people's kids, because that's just, it's not your place. You don't know what they're used to. Like, you don't know what they're not used to. Like, I just feel like you don't discipline other people's kids. And then the situation was not even like, it wasn't that deep. Like, she just like took it and ran with it, y'all. Like, I mean, she's full-fledged yelling at me. She's like upset with me. And I'm sitting there talking to her in the most monotone voice ever. Like, well, yeah, because so-and-so and so-and-so. And she's just like, well, Naimah, I just don't think it, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And she just go on and on. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's fine. And like, I just don't understand where the hostileness came from. I just don't get it. I don't, because it was very confusing to me. So, and this whole time, Emily is literally just standing there silent. And I'm just like, okay. Now, after this whole thing, I go back to the car. I told my uncle and my friend and my cousin what happened, and they're like, oh wow, and like they just laugh at me about it, blah blah blah. And I was just like, well, I just don't appreciate how like she literally just tried to like discipline me like I'm her kid, because I'm not. Like, y'all, let's just be real here. You can't discipline other people's kids. I'm just being honest. I don't care whether you think that's right or not. I don't think you should discipline other people's kids, because like I said, you don't know what they used to and what they not used to. But needless to say, after she was done yelling at me, she was not too happy with me. And she was like, when your mother gets out of the hospital, I'm going to tell her about this, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and I was just like, okay, tell her. I'll tell her. Like, what? Like, she was saying that, like, telling my mom was like I was going to get in this big trouble. I was going to be grounded for the rest of my life, talking to her all out of line. And first of all, me and my mommy are like this. Second of all, like, I was like, she don't have to worry about telling her, because I'm going to tell her first. I am. So we leave, go downtown or whatever, blah, 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 after the whole situation. And then, like, when I do go see my mom, I think my mom ended up, she found out from Emily's mom what happened before I had the chance to tell her, but she wasn't even upset. She was not upset, because I explained my side of the story, and I was like, well, Mom, this is like what happened. And she was like, yeah, well, oh well. But y'all, I will say, Emily had told me some things about her mom. I feel like this is kind of relevant to the story. I'm not gonna put all her business out there like that, because I don't know if she's watching this, but Emily had told me some things about her mom that made me like question her character, like, before that incident. And so when that happened, because when she told me what happened, I was just like, girl, like, that don't even sound like your mom. I feel like you making this up because you just want some type of struggle story, right? And then after that incident happened, I was like, okay, maybe your mom is like a little psycho, just a little bit, like, just a little crazy. And so after that incident, I just kind of stayed away from them, because I didn't want to have anything to do with her mom. I didn't want to have, I mean, I wasn't really mad at Emily, but I was kind of upset with her. It was like, girl, why are you just standing there not saying nothing when, like, I'm sitting here getting yelled at? Like, what did you tell your parents? What did you tell them? What did you tell them? That's pretty much like the end of the story. I didn't get in trouble. And that was that. I mean, were me and Emily still friends after that? I think we were still friends after that, but we, like I said, she's one of those friends I just, like, ended up growing apart from, because, like, we used to live really close to each other, and then I moved, and then, like, after that, we just kind of grew apart. Like, I went to college, she went to college, she had her own, like, you know, it was one of those types of things. So it's like no hard feelings against her, like, have nothing against her, nothing against her mom. But that whole situation, it was just really weird. Like, the whole thing was just really weird. And to this day, like I said, I don't know if she didn't tell, like, her parents what was going on, or the whole story, or however she spun it, but something just didn't seem right, because there was just no reason for her mom to get so hostile with me. It was no reason at all. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the story. I know it was kind of short, but I wanted to tell y'all that story, because I just felt like, has anybody else ever argued with their friend's mom? Like, let me know in the comments down below. Have you went head to head with your friend's mom? Was it worse than my situation? Like, did y'all fight? Like, was y'all cussing each other out? Like, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm curious. Like I said, anybody else ever argue with their friend's mom? But yeah, moral of the story is, don't discipline other people's kids. It's not yours. That's my moral, at least. That's what I think is probably attempting to happen here, because it didn't go how she wanted it to, because I am not the one nor the two, and I wasn't the one nor the two back then in the days, okay? I had a lot going on, and what you wasn't about to do was discipline me, and you not my mama, okay? The only person that's my mama and that could discipline me is my mama. You know what I'm saying? That made sense in my head, y'all. That it really did. Anyways, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And make sure you definitely follow me on TikTok, because I have a whole list of storytime ideas that I'm going to be posting on TikTok. Probably like, I'm going to try to do weekly, maybe every other week, of like different really short stories that just aren't long enough to make into a YouTube video. They'll also be posted on my YouTube shorts, which I don't know how that comes up to you guys. Like, let me know in the comments, because I truly don't know what it looks like. Like, let me know if do you guys get a notification when I upload a short? Like, can you see it like on my page? Like, how does that work? Let me know in the comments down below, because I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Let me know. I don't know. Just tell me. But yeah, with all that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good time.